And welcome everybody to our finals, Octane Collegiate Season 3, the finals. We have 20 teams today to challenge, and only one team is going to walk away victorious. And why don't we take a look here at the 20 teams that we have competing today. 10 of them we saw yesterday. 10 of them have been waiting. That top 10 there have been waiting to see who they will be playing against. The thing about this kind of ring is everyone knows where this one is going. There really is no ambiguity about where things are going to be showing up in terms of just like where that ring is going to be going. You expect it to pull far to the west and to continue to pull far to the west as we see UCalgary Exodus already getting into some action here.
We are going to be running legend bands, of course, for this series. For those of you who tuned in yesterday, this will not come in as a surprise, but expect to see Ash banned, because Ash is what we saw banned in the first game yesterday, and I'm seeing everybody run it today.
Yeah, I would not be surprised in the slightest here. We do see UCalgary Exodus peeking around with the P20s right now. Meadsy is doing some work with those. Will get a knock. Meadsy going to get the finish too as well. So UCalgary Exodus, first ones on the board for the day with their KP.
It'll be a nice start for them. Southern Miss starting to rotate in aptly through the south side of this ring. Should be fine for them to make their way in, as right now they're heading on the way down towards Divide and may even run into Utah Red a little bit later. They've been able to get some good information on the teams that surround them. So Southern Miss have a lot of planning to do, have a lot of ground to cover, but should be able to rotate in safely. Well, CSU Fullerton Blue actually I think should have been able to knock the Ash coming out of Portal, but you know, you don't always get what you want.
You take what you get, and will be CSU Fullerton just kind of watching now, because they do need to keep their eyes open. They will need to move fairly soon, I believe. They're going to see Meadsy and friends make their way out. CSU Fullerton going to be waiting for teams to move into their area.
Southern Miss Esports, like we mentioned, are going to be taking their time on the rotation that has them largely on the other side of the map. I got to be honest with you, Tessa. Lack of minimap is kind of
no, it's messing with me too. Right, I wasn't gonna say.
It's kind of crazy. I'm just gonna say it because if I were watching, I would be going, "Am I going crazy?" No, you're not going crazy. Yeah. Everything's fine. I think it's fine.
I drive with a GPS at all times. You put me out here with no map, I'm lost. TMU Bold, also a little bit lost. They are going to be their first squad that goes out today.
And interestingly, it's the Comets that take them out, with TMU Bold going down, but the Dallas Comets starting to get ahead. It is just the start of the day, Tessa. I'm not going to overhype them just yet, but maybe we're starting to see the turnaround that we didn't see yesterday.
Hopefully, because I obviously a little bit of bias, but they're very fun to watch when they are on their game. They can play very aggressive, and it just makes things a lot more action-packed. So I do hope to see that. We do see Iowa State Farmers running that Mirage, also running the Revenant here. This is a composition I would not expect to see until much later in the day, but it is just, they're not even running the Ash.
Yeah, I mean, unless you were trying to maybe farm the lobby, live up to whatever expectations they've set via name, because with a Mirage to cause some chaos, a Revenant to jump on you, and of course, Crypto to set it all up, you not only have a really powerful composition, but one that's pretty unlikely to be banned.
Yeah. We're going to see the EMP already used here, and there's not going to be a lot of Cryptos in this lobby right now. So that's definitely going to, I think, catch some people off guard, forcing the heals out as they move forward, getting scanned. Group D does need to back away and heal back up. Revenant ult is ready.
This move up into quarantine zone, though, is pretty dangerous, so I like that Kennesaw State do manage to make it, knowing that they've got a full team on their backs. Also running the Ballistic pretty early on. The Ash, of course, no surprise, as we mentioned earlier, but Ballistic, definitely odd to have picked up earlier in the games. We do see a couple of teams do it, but largely I think that you can get more value out of running not Ballistic for the early stages of any tournament.
possibly. As I mean, I'm very surprised to see Group G running the Revenant here over the Ashe, just because I feel like they provide similar things. If it, like Revenant is a much more of a fighting character, but like Ashe still has really good in-fight mobility.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying.
They both dash. They have the ability to gap close on people and just fight.
Yeah, I think you heard me go, huh? For the first part
I
of that.
kind of did, and I was like, oh man, I gotta explain myself.
Yeah.
Before my
now that you
co-caster
have-
thinks I'm an idiot.
No. I would never. But now that you have, maybe my faith in the point is restored a little more, because it is a really skirmish-heavy legend, and that's something that anybody can get value out of. Maybe, like you said yesterday, some teams are choosing to run things like Revenant, specifically Iowa State Farmers, because they know that they're going to be able to have this much more consistently available to them throughout the day. But it also puts pressure on them to find fights early on, because that's what Revenant is for, and right now, they're having difficulty even sieging the inside of this tunnel.
That EMP did not go off, I think, so they are just poking in right now. No drone, so the crypto is very much not useful. What's called already used. Meanwhile, New Calgary Exodus, they are in trouble right now, but they do get the win, and that is Kaiser Esports.
Crazy to see Kaiser Esports eliminated this early when they were the positional champions of yesterday. Sitting always. I think there was maybe one game where they weren't in top 4. It was wild, and Kaiser now to go down to 19. That's something that you wouldn't have expected given yesterday's games.
Absolutely not. Utah Valley Black, another team that we saw yesterday, throwing out some nades to see if they can get in on a fight right now, and it is San Jose State Blue that is right by them, our best team from yesterday, and they are already looking strong, and they've got purples across the board, and I'm sure they're going to be looking to fight as they take Utah Valley Black out.
And Nkosu back on the altar. So satisfying to watch. Even as Viking Cap goes down, I haven't lost hope just yet. He's always got the ability to recover, and Kosu's gonna go for that right now. So incredibly powerful on this altar. Shmub maybe gets a little too comfortable outside, but with the Ashe mobility is able to survive. Popping the bat, waiting for the rest of the team. There is a res that happens on this knock, so San Jose State maybe missing the point for right now, but ultimately going to survive with all 3 members, and I think we can call that a win.
Yeah. Most importantly, they did not lose anybody. Utah Red does go down here, but is both the Utah teams gone. San Jose are very comfortable where they are, and this is where that catalyst really does come into play here. You can set this up and wait as this ring continues to move in your direction. UNC Wilmington, another team that played really solidly yesterday that we are looking at to see if they can perform today.
Like the position of Wilmington. Something they also did pretty well yesterday, playing the macro game. Right now, they are very far out to the edge of this zone, and I'm curious whether this position will age well, because there are a couple of zones that actually end basically on UNC Wilmington. If they get that, UNC Wilmington could easily pull a top 3.
Absolutely. RIT Black in some trouble at the moment. Luckily, the Newcastle will get them back on their feet, as UC San Diego Gold are also trying to make their way into this ring. Things are starting to get a little bit close range for a lot of these teams as the ring continues to push.
New Calgary's Sheila helps eliminate RIT Black, moving us down to 15 squads, which means that we're in placement point territory. U Calgary still have got a little ways to go. 3D for U Calgary has been going insane this game, being the key player in eliminating Utah Red. Iowa State Farmers still killless. Still killless.
10 kills for U Calgary already is absurd. We have lost 16 players. They have been going wild right now. Let's see if the kidnap gets Meadsy. They will get the knock. And Southern Miss getting maybe their KP that they hope to. Will get that full thirst, and now Southern Miss will also be adding to their total.
But because Calgary got the zone, and now they're missing Meadsy, their Rampart, they don't have a lot of ways to recover, so they got off to such a good start. You mentioned really high kills early on in the game. Now, they're in danger of being eliminated as they've only got Pathfinder and Ash left to realistically survive with. Iowa State Farmers in an engagement of their own. Nice nades by Group.
Well, the R9 is hitting. It's not getting a knock just yet. Group D has to reload. Low on the shields, low on the health. Kamal, the only other one that is up right now. Group D does get a knock, gets the heal thanks to the skirmisher passion. Kamal is knocked. Very low HP on Kachow, and it's the last member. Iowa State Farmers survive, but they lose their crypto.
And look at how they've got to go. Now they have to choose. Do they go through UT Dallas Commons? Do they go up north through the UCF Knights and CSU Long Beach? Iowa State Farmers, after they pull off this res, have got to make a decision pretty quickly because there are only 20 seconds till the zone closes, and I'd be worried about going through the Comets right now.
Southern Miss. Getting kill already, Thalos. A knock onto Crimson Monkey. Southern Miss, honestly, a really solid position. Having this high ground is really helpful. Yes, they will have to move eventually, but the high ground gives them so much knowledge of what is happening around where the ring is going.
Real curiosity here around what's going to happen. This fight between the UCF Knights and CSU could still have a team coming up behind it. Iowa State Farmers, this is one of the rotations that was available to them. And I don't think either of these teams are aware that they may very well be in the path of one of the scariest squads in the lobby's macro.
Catalyst wall gonna go up. UCF Knights pushing forward. Needs abound for them right now, and FaZe is already knocked. Slothulus is low on shields, low on HP, and knocked. Just the Catalyst alive, gets one knock, but not enough. UCF Knights fall. Iowa State Farmers here for the third party, but maybe realizing this was not much of a close fight. They don't have a lot to gain from it. They'll still chase through the altar portal. Iowa State Farmers do not want to give up at least what KP they can get, and CSU Long Beach will be eliminated.
And it is just like we talked about, this extended fight that isn't aware of the macro of others gets completely capitalized on in great timing by ISU. They now get that free rotation into zone. Check out the next ring. ISU will be able to rotate in almost alone from this north side, really only having to deal with Kennesaw State Gold or UT Dallas Comets, and that's going to be really telling. Do you play for height that UT Dallas Comets have, a great game-winning position by the way, or do you go for the slightly weaker position of Kennesaw State Gold and the safer fight?
It's the interesting thing. We've seen rings like this before, and the question really does become how many teams are still around by the time this ring starts to close. Because when there's a lot of teams still here, Kennesaw State's position is not terrible because they are not the focus. Everybody's looking at that high ground. Western Havoc looking to get out of this fight, not going to be successful. UC San Diego Gold down to just Zerosity alive, and they will try and back away for the time being.
San Jose clawing their way up the leaderboard. Calgary started well, but now that they've been shut down, San Jose State have the chance to collect a lot more kills and surpass teams like Iowa State Farmers, Southern Miss, and the UT Dallas Comets. Right now, San Jose State came into today being the team that was expected to frag out. They haven't quite picked that up yet, and man, it is telling about this meta. It is telling about this meta that we see the P2020s exchanged for the Peacekeeper.
Yeah, it kind of is. I hate to say it, but the P20s are kind of a good gun. You see San Diego going to be making their way in. Round 4 is continuing to close. We're down to 10 squads. There's still a lot of room for these squads to exist, and Venus backs away, does not have a lot of shields, still firing those P20s. Looks, sees Zerosity is low, knocked. Habaneros also very low HP. Will use the ult for a little bit of extra protection.
God.
Does get knocked beforehand thanks to the Arc Star, and there is just a little bit of space to try and go for this res.
That was crazy. I don't actually know if Newcastle ult gets consumed there because he got knocked first, but yeah, it's neither here nor there, I guess. The fact that they're able to get back up is the big thing for UCSD. Sat in this corner. Watch Iowa State Farmers go down. That is crazy. As ISU actually took the fight against Kennesaw and lost it.
Right here, got one.
UNC Wilmington also in solid position here. Look at all the teams that are in front of them. They can just kind of walk forward, play to poke, and not fully engage. Grab whatever kills they can. Habanero's still low on the HP. UNCW is moving forward now. They want to take this fight, and they're going to get some damage down. They are taking it from all angles, and they're going to move in. The HP bars are being deleted, and UNC are looking strong. They're just going to full send it, get a couple of knocks, try to get those kills, fully finish that team, and UC San Diego Gold is out.
And when UNC are cooking, Free Exotic is cooking. Slasher on the outside just collects 2 more kills, eliminating fully Grand Canyon Rocket. And UNC Wilmington are the last team standing inside the building. San Jose State around the outside have just Viking Cap, and the Peacekeeper does not save him. San Jose State are down, and we're down to 5 squads. Southern Miss, UNC Wilmington, UT Dallas, Kennesaw State, and Western Havoc. And it's UT Dallas on the high ground.
I want to call out that 3 of these teams are teams that we saw yesterday. The majority of the 5 teams that are still in are teams that we were expecting to be on the lower end of this lobby, if anything, and they are performing for sure right now.
Let's regroup here.
Miss actually snares one. Late game circles like this can be all you need. Western Havoc, that's a whole team gone immediately. Southern Miss.
Oh no.
Actually going to take out UNC Wilmington. What a random way to die for the squad that was hugely in charge of the previous fights.
Southern Miss look very strong right now. UT Dallas, they've still got their high ground. Very good position to play from. Only 3 squads. This is really good for UT Dallas. We said if there's a lot of teams, that low ground can be helpful. But the fact that there's only 2 teams on that low ground means they are likely going to have to deal with each other, and UT Dallas can just bide time and wait.
This should be a UT Dallas game, that's for sure. Southern Miss know it. Why you see them looking up top in the way they are, knowing that UTD is their biggest threat. But at this point, both teams, Southern Miss and UTD, have to be aware that Kennesaw is really the one that decides the game as much as it may not go in their favor. Should Kennesaw choose to fight straight up one team or the other, that's where somebody can get their game thrown for them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, speaking of, lots of damage being put down onto UT Dallas Comets. They will back away and heal. But they really should just be waiting this one out, trying to get these teams to push into each other.
To Dallas, I like the defensive knuckle clusters. They're just trying to keep Southern Miss honest, but Southern Miss
is alone here.
Crazy amounts of damage. Bowser kind of on a wide swing, but doesn't worry too much about what Kennesaw is putting out on them. Instead, just sitting with the P2020s. You see that catalyst wall go up. I think you let this happen. UT Dallas Comets very happy to watch this 3v2 go down. Kennesaw State starts sending, and Bowser starts sending as well. Jumps down, collects a kill, and into the UT Dallas Comets with these last kills that will grab your game 1 victory.
And I really did think UT Dallas should have waited a little bit longer. They went full send, and I was worried it was too early. They cleaned both of those fights up incredibly fast. They were not worried in the slightest, and that's the UT Dallas that we were looking for yesterday. And obviously, UT Dallas Comets in that first place position. Kennesaw State Gold, the second place finish, does get them into third in terms of points, but the 13 kills that Southern Miss were able to get gives them a 3-point buffer behind UT Dallas Comets, which is not bad at all. As we'll see Southern Miss get into some early action in Skyhook. These teams seem to want to fight, and these are teams that are going to have to fight and move because we are moving very far east for this zone.
All this on top of Free Exotic. Could take out one of the key members of Wilmington right now. Free Exotic has maybe 53 HP total. Dallas does forego that to try and find a kill on Slasher. It is crazy to see Southern Miss getting so aggressive with their fragging potential early onto UNC Wilmington, because the fact that one of these teams could be eliminated right now, terrifying.
Exotic still low HP, does get knocked thanks to the Spitfire turning back around, and UNC Wilmington taken out without much of a fight.
Southern Miss, really nicely done to be able to eliminate a team that quickly early on into the game. And Iowa State Farmers not changing up their composition. The Ash Ban did not affect them at all, but they are making a much better use of it this time in the early game to go and be able to pick up some kills with the Revenant as promised.
Yeah, and what did we say? Iowa State Farmers, they want to drop it mod, and they want to immediately move to start to fight. And they saw they had an opportunity to move up to Geyser, felt confident about that fight, and they just took it and got some KP.
TMU Bold making their way in through the south. This is an interesting rotate that largely takes them away from danger for right now, but it'll also put them in a tough position when it comes to the subsequent rotations that will pull them up north. UCF Knights mirroring this, I'm not sure that I like, though. See that height disadvantage? It doesn't feel very good to play into.
Yeah, that's the play.
I'm okay.
Grab the Evo and
I'm okay
leave.
with this. Yeah, I was like, do not get greedy here.
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to grab the Evo, move on. We are moving. This is another ring that teams should be really familiar with. These rings always go up into that overlook, into the rocks area back there. So people should see this ring and know where they need to go. And you can already tell lots of teams moving in the direction where we expect this ring to end.
Yeah, our Californians have seemed to get this on lock. Sitting over at Overlook.
They're vibing.
Over where we saw Champs end.
That is true.
If it does pull there, I mean, World's Edge is already a familiar map, but we've seen a lot of zone endings in this area. Surprised to see Iowa State Farmers maybe rotating this deep into zone early on. This reads much more like a composition that wants to play around the edge. If you're picking fights in zone, your resets have to be gorgeous.
Absolutely. It's one of those, you technically have cover, but it is not strong cover in the sense that you have it on all ends. You've got to make sure your angles are covered. Speaking of right now, we do see a Sheila being revved up here as Fissure Crossing getting a little bit active, I would say.
UCSD with a fun composition as well. Wraith to get places, Bangalore to get places, and Watson theoretically to hold places, but they just don't have a spot to hold right now. Finally get over towards Climatizer, and maybe a little bit of a better spot for Watson, but even then, I think you need to get inside, because spots like this, even in Climatizer, with Watson on World's Edge, where you can find value, it seems like a tough ring to find that in.
Exactly, yeah. The more this ring goes, the more it's going to pull away from those buildings. You see Rocket still running that Caustic as well, which we expect to do well in World's Edge generally. Fuse ult used. UT Dallas Comets are just pelting people with those cluster grenades. Iowa State Farmers just dropping down immediately onto this team underneath, and Western Havoc taken out again without much of a fight.
We'll say to Iowa State's credit, being able to do things that quickly, take fights that quickly is so huge for them, especially when you are in this close proximity to teams. Calgary in a bit of danger. Meadsy, really a player to watch here, was the first to go down last game. You do not want to repeat that this time around, but the UT Dallas Comets are getting very aggressive on this. Let's see what kind of skynades they can make land, because I'm watching Jacques whip that one out.
Ooh. I'm watching Bowser hide in the corner, scared after what just happened. His head was almost taken off. San Jose State Blue now looking here. Do not get that damage down from the Sentinel. Will jump forward. Shmub lost the shield here. They're just going to go directly in behind. The P20s aren't enough to get the knock, and San Jose State Blue are a little bit on the defensive. Shmub is just distancing from this fight. Doesn't want to try and take it. Will be pinged out thanks to the crypto, but I don't think UCF Knights will be able to really follow this easily.
Yeah, the third party really telling they're going to take it. UCF are going for this even through the Void Nexus, jumping right into Shmub, who has only a knockdown shield in a 1v3. Will likely be taken down as he exits the portal. I'm watching the health bar. Sloth chasing him down. Gets that last knock, gets the kill. San Jose State Blue go down, and in 16th, no placement points for them or TMU Bold.
Unfortunate for them, as now we see,
Let's go over there.
honestly, really interesting setup of this map right now. We have teams that are already in this ring, but most of them are not on the southern side, where a lot of these teams that are out very far from the ring are gonna need to move into. So there's still some space to move up, but a lot of edge fighting teams at the moment.
Southern Miss got that killer instinct in them. Tallis, a player to look out for. On the low ground is flanking. Southern Miss have a lot of control over this area. You can see them respecting all sides of the engagement, even those across the bridge.
Rampage.
Jack dipping, dodging, and diving on the Newcastle almost makes the fight work, but Viz ultimately takes barely any damage for that, fortunately. As fancy as the Newcastle's feet are, the aim had to be there a little bit more. Dallas gonna finish off the kill on the high ground, and the UT Dallas Comets are out.
And out very early. We have seen this team can either pop off or struggle, and right now we're seeing the struggle on World's Edge. Group D does get fully thirsted by enemy team. Arkip grabs that one. Iowa State Farmers have lost their fragger.
RIT Black needing to only make a small rotation up towards the north, have a little bit more time to get aggressive on this if they want. They could fully take out Iowa State with a well-placed pick, maybe a well-placed nade, see if this one lands by J-Hoop, not seeing it connect. However, they are going to find Kamal. J-Hoop should be able to collect this kill with the rest of the team. Kamal crazily still alive on Mirage. You can do that sometimes. Mobile Shield gets J-Hoop back in. But RIT Black coming up hands empty. With 2 seconds left on the zone, have to give this up. And man, that feels bad.
How do Iowa State Farmers get away with that? Yes, Group D does not have any attachments, can't grab the death box, but wow, the fact they could grab the banner and immediately go and hit the respawn and get away with that is bonkers, to be honest. And now Iowa State Farmers, it's not a fun rotate because they got Kennesaw State Gold to watch for, as well as RIT Black, who are going to be moving around the same time. But they are still alive as a 3-man squad.
Made a little bit easier by the fact that Kennesaw State want to rotate in with the evac tower. Nobody's really... I don't know, I think Kennesaw could have walked this in, could have looked at Iowa State, could have fought UCalgary, could have, should have, would have done so many things. But instead, the evac tower rotate, a bit of a gamble, may come up well for them. It is going to place them underneath this tunnel. Nobody else here, so it's safe. And that, I can't knock it too much. Swing into the caustic gas by UC San Diego. Not going to come up with anything just now, but when you see caustic gas, you know it's Grand Canyon.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, it's like GCU every time. I'm always... It makes me happy that I can see Caustic Gas and just know what team it is. UC San Diego Gold, maybe not realizing there's a team already inside of that RV. They will lose Weenus immediately, which puts them down to just 2, and it is not a fun situation for UC San Diego.
Canyon, this is exactly the kind of play that I'd expect from them. Picking up a kill, getting a res as well. Now being able to use the Void Nexus to relocate just that little bit. Unfortunately, Nando getting knocked by the zone makes things all the scarier. Who's Your Daddy is not going to get out of this one just fine. And a res happening over here has to happen quickly because you know you're getting pushed as Grand Canyon Rocket. Nando is not getting to play Apex Legends. It's knock after knock after knock on this guy, and Pander's going to be shut down too. Grand Canyon Rocket, they do get the kill on UC San Diego Gold, but they pay for it with their whole lives.
Got an idea where it leads.
Yeah, a couple of teams now running as a duo. We do see Iowa State Farmers eventually did lose Kamal as well. So Group D back in the game with less loot. Kamal gone now, and Group D taking a lot of damage. Does get knocked by the Sentinel, and that's going to be the go button here for UCalgary Exodus. What a pick.
Hit me with that drone, baby. Otters just got to survive. Pick up the banners. In the face of UCalgary, they're a difficult squad to evade, especially when they find you just like that. That's unfortunate. Finds the Mozambiques, one for each cheek. Iowa State Farmers go down.
We should go that way.
Iowa State, I can't blame Iowa State Farmers for trying to go for that. That's really your best option here, as we do see Respawn's going to be starting here for Utah.
That way.
As Weenus is back in the game, I believe did get his loot back as well, so UCSD Gold feeling pretty okay as things are. They do need to move forward here because this ring is starting to close and it is forcing them south.
I am laser focused on what's happening on the south side of this map. Calgary, remember, game 1 had such a good game. Were eventually shut down, maybe in that mid to late game. Got a lot of kills on the way there. This time around, gathering a lot of kills once again, could push themselves up near that match point territory with another solid round today. But it does mean that they've got to take a lot of these fights on the southern side, including those against the UCF Knights. In fact, UCF, focused down on them right now, have now knocked 2. And I may have spoken a little too soon on Calgary because the focus is on them, but it doesn't look like they were up to the pressure in this engagement.
UCF Knights, the bow is hitting hard, and Calgary are in trouble, just slowly bleeding out. 3D, the last one alive. The P20s, the spray eventually lands, and Calgary Exodus will be eliminated.
On the other side of this, Southern Miss still farming up. Have had a very good game on World's Edge so far, and Thalas, killer instinct on this altar, has been the spearhead of Southern Miss right now, really enabled by the ballistic fuse. But every time we see an aggressive swing, every time we see a play in the making, it's Thalas on this altar who's making it happen.
Kennesaw State Gold. Kind of quiet in our previous game. Did end up second, but it didn't feel like a strong second from them. Southern Miss to force them to move. Texas A&M Maroon hanging out on the high ground in this area, but this ring will force them to move south.
It's already a better game for Texas A&M, who went out 15th last game, didn't get a lot done. World's Edge maybe a little bit more comfortable for them as a team that, if I can remind everybody, was expected to do very well, is expected to do very well in this tournament, given their recent collegiate swing. Gotten 2 first place, CSU Long Beach, unfortunately not going to be collecting 1 or even close to it this game as they go down in 11th, but Utah Valley Black maybe serving us up another good fight.
We'll be peeking into the RV. Do see there's just Habaneros in there, who does trade their Venus, is the one that gets that knock. But Utah Valley Black could not finish off Habaneros, and that is going to cost them a lot. San Diego in trouble as well. Slothulus just hiding down below as the ring continues to push. Gonna get the ult down just to run away that little bit faster into the ring. There will be teams in front, and UCF Knights just left with a solo.
CSU Fullerton eliminated in 10th. Texas A&M scrambling for a position to play, somehow make their way into this truck. Pair would be lucky to make it here alive, and luck, unfortunately, not something that Pair's got a lot of today. The UCF Knights go down. We are down to 7 squads, while Kennesaw State Gold struggle to stay alive on the low ground and are immediately getting sent by everyone. Kennesaw State are out, RIT Black are out, and we've cut down more than half our squads on this ring close, Tessa. We're down to the top 4.
We are, and guess who's back? Kaiser Esports are alive here, and they will be getting at least some placement points for themselves. Southern Miss very far ahead of the curve though right now. Not only did they have a solid game number 1, now they are farming in this game, and they are in prime position to close this one out with a win.
Got to be the squad that we're looking at the hardest. 39 points so far with a win. I don't know if they can touch match point. It's going to be really dependent on how many kills they collect along the way, and Lawless picking one up there is actually boding pretty darn well.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Kaiser. They are alive. Utah Valley Black, do we really only have 1 full squad?
Yep.
This should be Southern Miss.
It's a waiting game. See who goes down in what order, and it's a mini game for Southern Miss as well, because while this game should be theirs, in order to hit match point, I think they need to collect all of the kill points. I can't do that math here. It's a little too much math. But we're gonna just safely say they need to collect all the kill points. And Texas A&M going down. That is some kills going over towards their way. Make it 1, make it 2. Now, it's just Kaiser.
It's just Kaiser. All right, 460. Show me what you got, buddy. Make it happen. The 1v3 cannot. Southern Miss will win game number 2.
Overheat in a 1v3.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite part of Apex Legends, actually. 1 point away. Now, granted, we're playing at least 4 maps. So they weren't going to be able to win on the next map anyway. But they only need to get 1 point.
I mean, they're basically just like honorarily on match point. I think as Grand Canyon Rocket, you want to loot up all of Command Center, and then because you're the only team running Caustic, because you're Giga Chads like that, you sit on top of the zip lines and you wait with an evac tower to rotate in late on probably zone like 4 or 5 or something like that, because an evac tower out of that high ground should be able to get you a decent spot. I think it's kind of a prayer, you know, it's kind of a risk, but I think that's how you play Command Center this time around, and we'll see how they do it. Iowa State making me real nervous.
I'm just peeking in, checking what's going on.
Imagine I'm talking about the game plan for Grand Canyon, and Iowa State just decided, no, actually, I don't get it.
Yeah, actually, we're just going to shoot you in the back.
Yeah, that was
CSU
for me.
Long Beach right now in the middle of a firefight. Have done some damage to their opponents, but it is not going to be getting them much. They're going to have to back out and heal. Already have blue shields here for their Bangalore, though.
Man, I remember watching Minnesota State get taken down over by Devastated Coast yesterday. It just turns into an area of the map where teams are so comfortable chasing each other because it feels so out of the way, especially in the early game. So I am glad to see our teams practicing some restraint, because I like it when teams live longer. Call me old-fashioned.
Robert Morris Colonials currently in Command Center as well. Lots of teams probably looking to rotate through this way. They know they need to get through and up towards the Stormcatcher area. Utah Red are the team holding the lower end of it at the moment. Zakatar is in trouble at the moment. We'll back away for the Phoenix kit.
Everyone and their mother rotating through Command Center. This is crazy. I do like that Utah Red actually back off, just kind of recognizing that this is happening, but it makes me wonder what's happening with Grand Canyon, because they started there. I didn't see them up top. I didn't see them fighting down below. So what's going on with them? Calgary Exodus, what's up?
Ooh.
158 to the face. I think he bit that bullet on the way in.
Yeah, it does hurt a lot, especially on those blue shields. For another one, doesn't get it. Habaneros almost suffering the same fate, and that almost for sure would have been a full send if it had hit. Habaneros is getting hit and does get knocked. Calgary, they're going to make the push for this one. Nades are being thrown out while Weenus and friends try to hold off the assault.
Eva 8 prepared for this as well. Sentinel Eva 8, the loadout of Madmen, tries to hit the mid-range Sentinel shot. You can tell Bachi is feeling himself in this particular 3v3, or rather 3v1 now, I should say, because Calgary very much in charge of this fight so far. Sentinel shot, maybe not going to connect right now. In the first game, it was 3D2Y that was serving people up, but since then, a lot of the focus has been placed on Bachi and what Bachi can do while using this Revenant.
Bochi not going to take that jump, and they're just going to take their win with the 2 KP and move on. Iowa State Farmers did just pull Group D back up from the ground, it seems, as they've been getting into a fight. Will get up into Stormcatcher and hold out for the time being, as Texas A&M Maroon are trying to ruin the day here for Bochi and friends.
Yeah, the fact that we don't see the whole team finished off earlier means Calgary have to turn and essentially take 2 fights back to back. They collect some KP. It's 2 so far, but Calgary not going to be happy with that. Texas A&M Maroon, though, very unhappy with their performance so far today. I'm speaking from their perspective. They would have expected a lot more of themselves, and right now, you can tell with the nades that are being thrown out this way, with the fight being taken this early, Texas A&M are solving their problems with anger and taking it out on Calgary. That 3D2Y taken down. The pair gets traded. Bachi going to be taken down, and Calgary are out. Texas A&M reclaiming a little of that momentum.
Now they do need to hit their heels though and get moving, because the ring is still pushing further and further down south, so they will have to continue to move. Make sure they're healthy as they move forward as well. San Jose State Blue in about the opposite position as you could be, deep in this ring and just trying to hold out here with this catalyst.
Just watching Schmub look for an angle. Pretty conservative play from San Jose State Blue, and you know, when we came into today, I'd expected them to basically put on the same performance that they did yesterday, and I don't think it's a stretch to say that they expected the same thing of themselves, but we haven't quite seen it, and so dialing things in a little more conservatively seems to be the answer that they're looking for. What's surprising me right now is that Grand Canyon Rocket up on this high ground have looked for answers themselves. Look at that. No caustic, which for any other team would just be saying, yes, of course, Dia. That's just what a Saiyan team would do. For Grand Canyon Rocket, this is a big character shift.
Yeah, and I think it kind of makes sense with how Stormpoint does work. You're not really going to get as much use from it. Iowa State Farmers still struggling to find their footing in this game, and they will lose their crypto entirely. Otter is gone. Cabal going to be hitting the shield bat invisibly now. Going on to Thalos. Will not get that knock. Drops down with the P20, single-digit HP, gets knocked, and Group T on the run to keep the hopes alive.
Iowa State, terrifying team. Southern Miss, they are the demons today. The first two games have definitely shown us that. And Southern Miss not slowing down at all. Despite having lost one, there was a trade up against Iowa State. But they're on the chase against Iowa State, so you can tell where their mentals are at right now. It's not so much about recovery, it's about vengeance.
And the fact that it's Southern Miss getting those kills mean they've done their job.
Oh, yeah.
They are already now going to be on match point in the next game, which is the first game where they can close it out.
That's true. Southern Miss. I want to say that they can play with reckless abandon now, but I kind of think that's what they were doing, so I guess keep doing what they were doing? Iowa State Farmers.
More reckless abandon?
Yeah, maybe.
Recklessler,
Southern side of the map.
Recklesser abandoner?
Here's the thing. Southern side of the map, actually going to be really fun to watch. Like, there's no way, especially coming up these hills that take you all the way into previously Thunderwatch, that is not going to be entertaining. It's going to be a blast. UNC Wilmington having a blast right now, and maybe taking that back as Slasher loses all of his shields, but they're finding a way to siege the inside of this. I'm not shooting the top of the... It's fine. I'm not going to talk about it. UNC Wilmington, well, they're sieging right now.
Exotic can just throw the nades in there. Break that in, make it really hard to hold the space to keep them from walking in. You can see Freaky is just walking in there to try and gain some kind of control. They don't want to stay too long, waiting for that drone to come back, get the vision, but they can't wait too much longer because they are starting to get attention from other sides of the map.
UNC Wilmington are kind of throwing their chances at this fight a little bit. They didn't really finish folks off earlier. UT Dallas Comets actually do manage to finish somebody off, which is a really nice change of pace. Quick pickup on Bowser, and Utah Red are down, leaving us with 18 squads. But UNC Wilmington down here, despite expending all those nades and all this time, grabbing a lot of focus, they didn't get anything for it.
Exactly, and that's a lot of resources gone. UT Dallas Comets also in very good position in terms of where the ring will be pulling. They are going to watch everybody move up to them. UCF Knights trying to play the high ground right now. The G7 Scout is ripping for Slothulus. Moves forward with the P20s onto Fiddle Dude. Tamo Maroon trying to fight back as Slothulus does back away. 2 members down, and UCF Knights not able to finish the job. Texas A&M Maroon will clean up the UCF Knights and be able to move forward.
I'm smiling right now watching Texas A&M do that. I saw them at LAN pull out the Wraith bait into double swing, and this time another team tries to do it to them, and they know how to counter it. Really well played by Tamu, and again, they are making their way up on the recovery here. Manksa coming up. Doesn't finish the kill. Thalos is still up, but Viz having gone down. This is a 1v2, and I don't
The
think
Newcastle Tactical is doing a lot of work in that. Doesn't want to continue this as Viz is very low HP, has to back out to heal in Southern Miss. Maybe a little bit too spread apart. Maybe too reckless abandon, as some would say. Tamu Bold is now trying to hold out. This is just a two-person squad, and I'm sure that Southern Miss realized this.
I mean, Mangsta was climbing on him earlier. Again, 1v2. Southern Miss are not going to let this Newcastle exist for any amount of time, even with the tactical. Dallas comes in, finishes this up, and it's TMU Bold that go down. Iowa State Farmers following very quickly afterwards. It was just a single pick to make that happen. So we're down to 14 squads, and again, placement points have started to be collected. If somehow Southern Miss hadn't collected a kill, they would have been on match point. Now they are more than on match point by a mile.
Absolutely, and you know, they're not going to stop. I don't think it's just going to be them playing aggressive as much as they want. Now, the big question then becomes, how many points are they taking away from teams that are still aiming for match point? San Jose State Blue currently not one of those teams because they are in trouble. Nkosu, the last one alive, will get the shield bat off, but how do you move forward here? Because Southern Miss, again, cleaning up, taking points away so that nobody can get even close to match point.
San Jose, unfortunately, having gone down, and with Southern Miss on their tail, it is just Dallas left alive, so a shutdown here of Southern Miss is going to happen. Now we wait till next game to see how this has affected them, if it's affected them at all. It is their technically worst placement today, but it's plenty to put them on match point. RIT Black, looking for a finish themselves, will take out Utah Valley and try and reset, even with the Catalyst wall. But Artkip is going to go down, and it is a 1v2 for now that RIT Black have got to win. Huge R99 spray does not win it for them, but Parsnips still alive. He's going to get on the other side of this wall. UC San Diego go down. RIT Black taken out by a nice shot from Bowser. And you know what that means? That means UT Dallas are looking out over all of this.
UT Dallas are looking Kraber in hands of RMU at the moment. Not able to land the first shot here. Can Dev get more? Does get the knock on that one, and that's truthfully gone. Big knock for RMU, but can they push on this? Do they want to push on this? Because they need to watch out for third parties anywhere nearby. Scanning right now. Dev cannot see another angle, and they won't be able to capitalize on the knock they get.
No Ash, no Path, no Wraith, no way to close the gap. And that's just the reality with a zone like this. And speaking of this zone, take a look at the pivot. This is really heavily in favor of where we saw Dallas earlier. They want to fight here. They've overlooked Kaiser's rotation in. Grand Canyon Rocket up here as well. But it's UT Dallas that I'm really looking at to maybe find a win in this game as Grand Canyon Rocket go down.
Grand Canyon Rocket are gone. RMU are still looking here. They're going to have to move eventually because ring is going to start to close, and it's not going to be a fun rotate for them. They need to be able to get past this upper ground here to go above all of these teams that are trying to move up. Seeing damage done down below. Cluster Grenade is going to do some damage. Texas A&M Maroon, looking from above, will have to start moving themselves, and they're going to try and take out teams on the way. Lots of damage from the Nemesis, and Fiddle Dude is wiping the map clean at the moment. Just going to full send with the R9, needs a little bit of help from the team. Runs into another team that's not your friends, Texas A&M Maroon. They're in trouble. Fuse ult comes down, and Texas A&M Maroon are just trying to hold off the onslaught.
Fiddle Dude wanted the mojo back, but maybe the mojo got a little bit in the better of him. Texas A&M in danger with Kennesaw State Gold staring at them with the Kraber. That shot going wide actually could be their lifeline. 150 knock on Swifty, but Pear is alive. And Pear in zone just has to weather these Arc Stars for now. Kennesaw State really hesitant to actually push out on this.
Oh, Pear.
The knock with the Kraber, but it's not going to be Kennesaw. Instead, Texas A&M Maroon will be taken out from Lightning Rod, and Kennesaw overlook all of it. Still a good run. A very different game for Texas A&M. They've jumped all the way up to 6th. Now they just gotta hope, because they're nowhere close to match point yet.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nobody else that's within striking range of match point at this point, other than Southern Miss. UT Dallas Comets, if they can close out this game, they'll get closer. but I don't think there's a world they can actually get to match point yet. It is just going to be Southern Miss, but UT Dallas Comets, look at the position that they have. Everybody else stuck on the edge of the ring, way far away from where this is pulling. And almost assuredly here, as long as UT Dallas don't spread themselves too thin, they should be able to close this game out.
Yeah, it's funny looking at UTD because yesterday I wouldn't say was their best game, but they were stylistically doing really well in the sense that from a academic perspective in Apex Legends, you want to take up as much space as possible, and they were able to do that really, really well, even when playing just on awkward rotations. They take up a lot of space, make it really difficult to push them. They've done that same thing now, but with Godspot, which in theory should just straight up win them this game.
UNC have lost Freakozotic. Cannot be picked back up. Slasher moving forward with the drone. Might just go for the EMP. No, not going to pull it just yet. Sees that C3 Fiki needs some help, and they will get a knock onto Misplays as the fight continues. Slasher gets knocked, and UNC Wilmington, they pull some blood out of Kennesaw State, but they can't stay up.
Kaiser in danger as well, since Dallas smell the fight on the other side and get aggressive. Looks like they'll be able to finish this as 460 is on his last legs in a corner, but Kennesaw State Gold come up on this. They are missing misplays, so it will come down to good timing. As Kaiser Esports go down, it's a 2v3. Not in favor of Kennesaw State, but with that Kraber, maybe things start changing. Bowser still underneath right now. First knock, 2v2 now. With just Jacques alive. Rect Emporium looks for the headshot and finds it. Bowser is down. It's a 2v1 in favor of Kennesaw State Gold. They could pick this game up out of nowhere.
How? The Kraber shot from downtown ruins the hopes, and Kennesaw State Gold pull a game out of a magic hat. UT Dallas Comets 41 points, and guess who else has 41 points? Kennesaw State Gold, who steal it away from them. Now just both 9 points away from match point. Southern Miss, though, the team able to hit it now. We do see a little bit of ballistic as well. Iowa State Farmers, more of the same. I don't think we expected anything different. We'll be playing aggressive once again, and they are just gonna knock people from a distance.
Sure.
Soradine already taken down, and that is KP into Iowa State Farmers' pockets.
And ISU getting aggressive on Western Havoc earlier. Sonic kicking Western Havoc while they're down. 18th place right now. Haven't been able to get anything going. Western Havoc had some highlights yesterday, but it's not looking like E-District is off to the best start for them. Well, RIT Black, we did mention them earlier in this southeastern side of the map. Getting a fight early on. Inherited, given to them, because TMU Bold and RIT Black land next to each other, and these two POIs seem to fight all the time. Humbert Labs and Old Town, they got beef.
You a Humbert Labs kind of guy, or an Old Town kind of guy?
Oh, I'm a Humbert Labs kind of guy.
All right, I see. We are in Old Town at the moment. J-Hoop maybe wishing to leave Old Town will be knocked, in RIT Black on the defensive early on in this fight.
TMU with one down, but an EVA doing the work that it is. Should be feeling pretty good about this. We did talk about the Bangalore Ballistic, also something that if you weren't running it before, it's just a good plug and play. Artkip actually gets tagged here, but Catalyst starting to show some serious value, and unfortunately, TMU Bold do not have the fuse to deal with it.
Exactly, we said with Catalyst, Fuse is a great answer to it because it just keeps people from being able to put those walls up and gets those doors open as soon as possible. Grenades being used, Catalyst ult used as well. TMU Bold, they feel good about the fight. They just can't take it.
Oh, they swing on that. They actually stick that. That's even more surprising. Artkip does go down. 1v1, Pyro v Parsnips. Parsnips on the outside with like 3 HP.
The EVA has to break the Catalyst. Parsnips is running. Can Parsnips get away is the question. Still peeking around. Does get it through the window. And TMU Bold win a 2v3.
Pocket full of posies. Not quite enough there. And you know what? You're technically right, but I'm going to say 2v3. Pretty generous use of language right there.
I'm just saying, you know, most of that
Just
was
call it how it
2v3.
is.
Yeah. UCF Knights, Evas abound here in E District, and they are putting in work. RMU down to just 2 here. God's Faith will be picked back up as they continue the fight. Kachow goes down. No shields on God's Faith. The rampart wall is not enough, and UCF Knights, they lose Slothulus, but they do get the victory.
The RMC down now, 17 squads left. This is a pretty bloody game of E-District, a map that's normally known for its safety, for the ability to rotate into zone early and get a building. Teams like CSU have done that. Kennesaw State had no choice, realistically, and have just sat in City Hall the whole time. Take a look at the southern side of the map, though. You will see a lot of teams who are not interested in getting into the zone. They are way more interested in getting kills on the way there.
Texas A&M Maroon see that there is an EMP going off. Do they want to push this one? Slothulus still on the run. Just got back into the game. They're going to try and push forward on this. Swifty, E20s in hand. And honestly, not able to get a whole lot from this. Tamu are just trying to chase this as much as they can.
Thanks to picking up the knock on Slothulus as well. That's tough. UCF Knights needing to recover that, and TMU Bold playing up against San Jose State. Haven't found their groove today, but still not a roster I'd want to tango with.
Gosu on the Revenant will disengage. There's some damage down though from Shmub. Gets Zac attacks, and it will be a at least partial victory. Nikosu next to go down. Iowa State Farmers are moving in for the fight here. Your original Revenant players trying to clean up. Ring will take Nikosu down, and they will finish that kill as well as the EMP comes through.
Iowa State Farmers find themselves the third party, which is arguably what their composition, which has not changed since game 1, is best at. They want to jump in, take advantage of a fight, whether it be a 3v3, whether it be, especially in this case, something that you just come in and clean up. They don't actually find any full squad wipes. That's why we still got 17 teams. People are playing their lives. I think every team knows that if you throw your life away recklessly in this game, it could be your last one of the season.
Texas A&M looting up before they continue to move. Ring continuing to pull west.
Let's check out that area.
Texas A&M Maroon, we want to see them get going here. We've seen a couple of good fights, but we have not seen a solid overall game from them just yet. They've been tripped up along the way. Southern Miss still up as 3. They do not care about the KP anymore. They're looking to finish number 1.
Playing on the edge of the map. Looks like they are going to be fighting a few teams. UCF Knights notably in their way. And I wonder, Southern Miss start over at Lotus. I was wondering if they want to move back through Lotus. Maybe fight Utah Red, Utah Valley Black, but no. They're taking this direct rotation in that will put them between the 2 remaining members of UCF Knights, funnily enough, and maybe even in the path of Texas A&M, who could come up from the south side. Calgary eliminate CSU Fullerton. Not a bad look for them, as Calgary have been one of our scarier teams. They started off really well, and, well, their last couple of games have evened them out a little bit more, humbled them perhaps. They are still in top 10 with a decent amount of kills backing them up.
We're also seeing now, too, teams, every time a squad leaves, everybody's checking that text saying, is it Southern Miss? Can we take a deep breath out and play the game with the intent to hit match point? Or do we still need to be on the hunt for this team that could close things out here and now?
FaZe trying to hit a banner recovery right now. I do think they'll be able to get in range, as this doesn't seem particularly contested. UNC Wilmington, however, set up dead center of zone. You can feel the pressure already, as once you're here, once you're starting to set up with rampart walls in center zone, it is tough to pick up kills on the way in on E-District. You really are playing for the map win, because you don't have the crazy sightlines that you have on Stormpoint or on World's Edge when Southern Miss were playing it in Acclimatizer that let you pick up kills passively as teams move by you.
Iowa State Farmers, they're moving away from where the ring is going. They want to get this kill on Slothulus. There is blood in the water, and they want to finish this off. Slothulus trying to peek around, not able to get Cabal, but it is just barely a victory. Slothulus will be finished off once again, and Iowa State Farmers add to their kill total.
Kamal kind of icing his veins with the L-Star
Yeah.
there. You see him swinging on 1 HP, just holding the angle, holding down the trigger, and knowing he's got this dude on lock. That was a really fun way to watch that fight happen. You could tell it really came down to discipline for both these players. Speaking of discipline, two teams that have got the fighting on lock on a good day. UCalgary and Tamu going up against each other at long range right now, and Southern Miss, as we all expected, holding the edge of zone, waiting for teams to come to them.
Southern Miss trying to take out the EMP before it goes off will be successful. Cabal in trouble. That's Iowa State Farmers, who will lose their Mirage, and now Southern Miss could take out one of the more threatening fighting teams in this lobby that could take them out.
Group D, still in zone, so I'm not like, whoa, he's gonna live. In fact, he doesn't. Iowa State Farmers, they're down. 15 squads left, and San Jose State Blue come up on this. This could be the solution. I mean, San Jose State Blue, they should have, by all means, been in charge of today's lobby. They haven't been just yet. Can they be the solution to Southern Miss? Or is Thalos just gonna swing on them like a psycho? Turns around, and while Neko goes for Viz, he gets gunned down on the way. Way too much excitement for San Jose State, and they did not respect the Thalos swing. They are wiped off the map by Southern Miss.
Salas is extremely low HP. Texas A&M Maroon, they're putting damage down, but look at the health bars. They can't push this. We have to back away. Fiddle Dude realizes his team is in trouble, and even though it is Southern Miss bleeding out, they can't finish the job.
It's crazy that both San Jose State and Texas A&M were looking at Southern Miss, two teams who surely combined should have been able to shut them down, and it's Grand Canyon who stopped Texas A&M, who shut them down instead, putting Pear at least on the floor, making it so that Texas A&M have to regroup. Now, they may just be dismantling them as a whole. Texas A&M in shambles right now, don't really have a way to recover with two teams looking at them, and when one of those teams is Southern Miss, you know you're not long for the world.
That's the problem. There's so much fighting happening around, but nobody's really putting pressure on Southern Miss when they need to. EMP coming through again does get stopped. Southern Miss not letting up on these drones, not putting themselves in sticky situations, and now they're getting damaged down as teams start to move in. Look where Southern Miss are. This is not bad positioning for this ring either.
Oh, still, just like Southern Miss have seemingly done since the beginning of today, maybe since the beginning of time. They sit on the edge of zone, they wait for you to have to come to them, and it is impossible to ever get there. Dallas really feeling himself. We saw that fight up against San Jose State where the Ballistic just comes around, jump scares everybody. Looks like he's setting up for that once again. Almost has the ultimate back online, but an EMP will make Southern Miss back away for just a second. No health on Mangsta in terms of the shields. And while FaZe looks for him, UCF Knights are making
There's
this
no
probably a
heals.
more even fight than I've seen against Southern Miss in a while.
Yeah, but the problem is UCF are running out of resources. Look at the heals. You have just some syringes. There was no heals for that crypto. Tamu getting Fiddle Dude back in the fight, but Southern Miss, we need to finish this off before Tamu join in.
Slow and steady, slow and steady. Southern Miss, well, they don't get the knock. You back away just so quickly. Jumping into this corner where, again, it's difficult to push them. And an evac tower. An interesting answer to what's going on right now. Where will they end up going? Texas A&M inherit the fight, take down Slothulus, and actually should be wiping out the full team. Fiddle Dude gets traded. We might see Southern Miss come back on this.
Yeah.
But the UCF Knights do go down. We'll watch Texas A&M's reset as I'm looking at Southern Miss on the map right
they're
now.
thinking.
And instead, they position themselves ahead of Texas A&M. So this full reset is going to happen. And again, you have to walk into Southern Miss. They're not coming to you.
Just the smart play when you know you need to end with a win. Kennesaw State getting some KP now so that they can get
this
just
takes
that
out
little
Swiftly.
bit closer. That's stuck? There's no shot. Oh my God, the nades from Cato open the fight up. CSU Long Beach with the best fight they could ask for here, but they can't finish the rest of the squad here. They'll get their first one. C3 Freaky runs away to save the squad.
And we knew the pressure was on UNC Wilmington. When you get stuck with an arc starter, you just kind of go, sorry guys, we got unlucky. That one's on me.
07. Goodbye, my
Yeah.
friends.
Jock finishes
Oh
off the
my-
kill on Swifty, so Texas A&M not particularly happy on their rotation in. UNC Wilmington still technically alive, but it is only technically, but I think we call that
Oh, no.
ceremonially alive in another context. UNC Wilmington get taken down. TMU Blue also going to fall. We got some reses going on around the map. It's Utah Red stabilize in their corner. The big question is still going to be Southern Miss. When I'm looking at Southern Miss, I'm seeing them in the kill feed. Nice takedown
Miss.
on Narwhal Boy is traded. Southern Miss
Nades.
do need to recover.
There's not enough shield there. The knockdown shield goes away, and Southern Miss with just Thalis now. Both of the other members have been fully finished, and Southern Miss's hopes of finishing this series in 4 games might have gone with it.
Does he go for it? I know he's thinking about it. Dropping down onto the low ground could be the thing that keeps them in this game. Texas A&M gonna go down. Kennesaw State gonna go down. 8 squads left. Sora moving down onto the low ground. Actually makes Bocce overextend for a second. U Calgary in danger as Meadsy falls as well. 3D, no chance to escape, and U Calgary get rinsed quickly. UC San Diego gonna go for the recovery as Weenus puts up a nice defense. Enough to maybe buy time for this res. I'm seeing the res go off, so it looks good. 7 squads left, and I still haven't seen Southern Miss show up in the kill feed. I haven't seen that calm that everyone is looking for. Southern Miss has been eliminated. Until that
Southern
shows
Miss
up,
just
this whole
respawned.
lobby holds its breath. Southern, like you said, are back.
Huh? How? How do they do it? It's a mystical magic trick that we will never know. CSU Long Beach trying to survive in the smoke, can't find their exit, and Decay will go down. CSU Long Beach are eliminated. 6 squads remain.
And knowing that in the back of all this, as UC San Diego fall, and we move down to 5, that we've still got Southern Miss. Southern Miss, who I will say, are on the low ground, are at a disadvantage. They are not in God's spot. That hasn't stopped them before.
They don't have attachments either for a lot of their players. They're running on fumes, but fumes can maybe choke out the rest of the squads. Utah Valley Black are kind of stuck, to be entirely honest. I don't know if they have a way up easily. Grand Canyon Rocket, they are in very prime position here with this high ground. Western Havoc go down, and if the teams have been paying attention, they know that Southern Miss are still up and kicking.
With 4 teams, UT Dallas Comets are once again in God's spot. Their macro has still been really good. We were even saying that yesterday. The macro has never been the issue. Pulling it off has been what's really been the struggle. Being able to keep your God spot, turn it into a win. Grand Canyon Rocket, and switching up the composition. End up going with the Watson here.
I like this a lot because you have the Watson to just make sure that players can't throw nades from this high ground. In comes a Valkyrie ult very late here, and I'm never a fan of these, and they get knocked. Lawless is gone, and that might be another team down to 3 possibly, as the Newcastle can't get them back up. Southern Miss take another contender out.
Southern Miss just look unstoppable, and Grand Canyon Rocket, they aren't even able
So
to
much
really
loot.
look at them. nobody's able to look at Southern Miss because they're playing these weird, awkward angles that, again, you can't get to. It's the best part of the macro from Southern Miss. The question is now, how are they going to strike? It is that final 3v3, and Grand Canyon Rocket, they're the big focus for me. Dropping down, who's your daddy? Let's lose one.
Header is going to watch the team struggle here. Southern Miss firing from far away, just putting down the damage, and both of the enemy teams are low. This could be it for Southern Miss.
Got the sling weapon out as well. Thoughtless going to swing like a madman. Does take down one. Grand Canyon Rocket down. It is the last two squads. This could be the win for Southern Miss. Up on the high ground, UT Dallas, they had everything. But can Southern Miss just keep the dominance going? Thoughtless down. It is their big star, their spearhead of this roster. And Mangsta very low, even on the fuse inside of the ultimate.
Moving up,
Viz jumps up onto the high ground. Southern Miss, they do not wait for the game to come to them. They take it, and they take it all in Octane Season 3.
What a dominant day from Southern Miss. You cannot ask for better. They come in, finish it in 4 games, and they win 2 of the games.
And it is with this crazy proactivity that we don't see in the same way mirrored from other squads. We don't see teams able to play these, again, awkward spots, these places where they have no real defense, and the only thing stopping you from pushing them is the fact that it's awkward.
Yeah, we're going to look at our final standings for the day here as we see how everything shook out. Obviously, we know Southern Miss did walk away victorious with 88 points. If UT Dallas had closed that, they would have been on match point, and they have to be kicking themselves. And not just that, Kennesaw State Gold, our stage 1 and 2 champs, end up 3rd today.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the Kennesaw State test, and I actually think that for what it's worth, they showed up really well. Placing top 3 is solid. It's just completely overshadowed by Southern. It's like, what are you supposed to do when somebody closes out, wins half the games, closes match point out in 4 games? Kennesaw State, they were a good team. They played really well, but it's just completely overshadowed by this tsunami of Southern Miss.
We are here now with Thales. Oh my goodness, my voice. With Thales, who is going to be interviewing with us here. I mean, Thales, first off, congratulations. How are you guys feeling? Because today was fast.
We're feeling great. I mean, we failed to close it out the past semesters, so it feels great to finally be able to close it out Octane. So yeah, it feels awesome.
I mean, this was gonna go down in history as like a dominant performance, obviously, and it's a huge competition, a huge win for you. You've also got the ALGS Open coming up, so I want to ask about your preparation for that, how that overlaps with this, and not just how you're feeling today, but about what this means for the ALGS Open and how you're feeling about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good boost. I mean, we had a really good team, right? I have Mank and Viz to back me up. They're really good. They also do really well on the Challenger circuit, so always had to boost with them, but having this another win, I did win CC, so it's kind of good to having like some wins like stacking up before the open land, and I'm really confident with Miles and Cruel who I'll be playing with. So I'm really excited, and I'm counting the days to be there.
All right. I mean, I want to ask quick too, just because you guys were obviously feeling really good today going in. Did you guys feel like you were going to be able to pull away as fast as you did?
I mean, there's always the chance because when we tend to win some of like the early games, we do tend to have a lot of kills. So I was like, I mean, if we can connect 1 kill, like 1 win, maybe like 2nd place or 3rd places, we could get there. I did not expect just dropping like straight nukes back to back. So I mean, it was really good. The ring did pull it back to us on game 2, and we were the only team with that info. So I mean, we just had to capitalize on it. It was really good for us.
Absolutely. And last thing I want to ask is just like any shout outs you guys want to give out for people who helped you get here.
Yeah, I mean, I want to shout out Shadow, everyone on the USM that backs us up, helps us out, always reaching out, always trying to help me. And I want to shout out my brother because he does sub for us sometimes, and he does come in clutch. And my mom and dad too. They might be looking. They might be watching.
All right, congratulations once again. You guys definitely deserve to go and celebrate your victory and get ready for the ALGS Open. Want to thank you guys for coming here. And Dia, I mean, hey, today was absolutely an exciting day, if nothing else.
Yes, absolutely. And it was a really good day to see the peak of Collegiate Apex as well, because as much as we're talking about some crazy dominance that we saw out of Southern Miss, we saw the teams putting up a fight as well. It's not like Southern Miss was just, I want to say, completely untouchable. They did have a lot of really good game plans that came to them, and clearly they were playing a level above. But I look at today's games, and having seen a lot of other collegiate competition, I know that it takes one good day from a couple of other squads to make this a little bit closer. So I think that a lot of other teams are going to come away from this really focusing on their consistency, looking over the course of this weekend. That seems to be the biggest challenge for a lot of our collegiate squads. Is not how high of a peak they can achieve, but how they can mitigate their lows. Thinking of Dallas yesterday to today, huge change. So a lot to look forward to in collegiate. But again, it's been such a great year already. I can't wait to see more.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been so happy to see how much collegiate has grown in just this last year alone. It started off small with just very much just trying to get things going, and now it feels like there's a lot of schools, there's a lot of talent that exists in here. I think there's opportunity to make this grow even more, so I do hope to see more. That is going to be it for us for this season, though. Dia, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank the production for making us look good, and I want to thank every one of you for watching. I know it was a fast series, but it was a good one. We hope to see you at the start of next season.